just for this lady to chop off all of my hair, like literally. I know people be like, it's only hair. Okay, that's to you, but to me, I've been working hard as fuck to grow out my hair, y'all.
This is the stylist's response to the client who created a viral video about the unfortunate experience that she had with the stylist.
I'm just not quite sure how I could have maneuvered differently when you verbally told me that you like your hair. I just really hope that, if anything, the takeaway is that y'all have to be confident enough, comfortable enough to speak up. Speak up and say when you like something and when you don't like something. The goal is not only just healthy hair, but a healthy and happy client. I thought that was the outcome of yesterday. Coming onto social media right now, I'm seeing that it's not.
Welcome back to Hear What I'm Saying. Today we're unpacking why fear and attachment impact our rational hair decisions and how proper consultation and communication make all the difference. Let's get into it. It's Jade. It's spelled J-A''IDE. If it's not, I stand corrected and I apologize for mispronouncing her name. However, she went viral after accusing her stylist, Erica, of cutting too much of her hair. She was emotional, sliding down the wall, crying, saying she lost all of her progress. Meanwhile, Erica had no idea. When Jay left the chair, she was under the impression that she was happy, even though it shows a video where Jay says, "It's more than I expected, but it's per," and then it cuts off. So I'm assuming that she was getting ready to say perfect. So the stylist is definitely under the impression that overall she is happy with the cut. And she also tipped her. So when Erica wakes up to a TikTok firestorm, I'm sure she was confused, shocked, and completely blindsided. And it didn't stop there. Jade allegedly threatened Erica, saying she'd have her boyfriend and sister pull up on her. Now Erica is seeking legal action. The comments took a turn that I was not expecting. I'm not going to lie, because I have seen so many hairstylists sitting in TikTok social media court. But for once, the prosecution was on the stylist side. I could not believe it. Now, Jade had some that, came to her defense, but the majority were definitely on Erica's side. I mean, to the point where Jade has now made her account private because I guess she could not deal with the backlash. And for all means and by all means, protect your peace. It ain't even that deep, Yeah, but the comments, they were saying things like, "Honey, your hair was dead and you needed that cut. Holding on to split ends doesn't make your hair healthy and long. It looks fuller and healthier now." Some even say that she just wanted attention because this has been like a thing now, like a trend where clients are not addressing the problem while they're in the chair and rather come to social media for their validation instead of really trying to find a solution to whatever problem that they have, I even saw a guy say black women will hold on to dead ends just to say that they have length. Now, that comment, you had some agreeing it, but you also had some that were disagreeing with him. And that's pretty much, that sums up a lot of what the majority were saying. But there were a lot of comments. It went viral. It made it to the neighborhood talk. That's how viral it went, okay? However, here's what I want you to reflect. When you're sitting in a chair, why don't you speak up in real time? Why aren't we speaking up in real time? Are you processing emotions later? That's the thing. Sometimes it don't hit us until we are alone and by ourselves. Maybe she didn't have a great look in the back. Maybe she thought she had a V cut and not just a straight blunt cut. I have no idea, because giving a V cut can also save length, so maybe she was under the assumption that that's what it was. I don't know. Are you afraid of confrontation? I can understand that. I validate you there, because some hairstylists can have an attitude when all you're trying to do is just get some understanding. I'm a client too, so I get it. I have definitely experienced the other side as well. Or have you just convinced yourself that holding on to every inch, even if it's damaged, is safer than honesty? I want y'all to sit with that because hair is honest. We are the ones that can get wrapped up in the delusion of what we think our hair is. But hair is honest, honey, and it's going to tell you the truth. I can't tell you how many times hair done told me the story and the journey of the client sitting in my chair. No matter what they say, I already know what they've been doing. They can tell me what they want me to hear, but your hair is telling me what I need to hear in order to help you. But anyways, let's move on. Let's start talking about the emotional attachment that we have to our hair and why Black women fear haircuts. I'm only speaking from a Black woman's perspective because I'm a Black woman, and my experience throughout the years of being a cosmetologist has been with the majority Black women. Backing up to that comment on Instagram that I witnessed, I will say right here and right now that is not true. Black women are not the only culture of women that fear getting their hair cut. I worked in a predominantly white salon for about 9 months, and I saw white women also struggle to let go of dead ends, all for the sake of quote unquote length. This is not a Black woman thing. We're just more vulnerable. We're just more transparent, and we're just more open with sharing. That's it. We don't mind putting our vulnerability on display for y'all to judge us and make all these accusations about us that you have no lived experience about. And you also don't have the exposure to other cultures. Because if you did, you would have never said that. Now moving on. Why do so many Black women fear a haircut? We're told our hair doesn't grow fast enough, or it doesn't grow at all, or it can only grow a certain length. And for some people's lived experiences, that is very true. For the ones who are not properly educated on how this works, that is only true for the audience of Black women who honestly and genuinely don't know how to take care of their hair, don't understand what their hair is communicating to them whenever it is trying to. That's all that is. Fear can be dismissed with education. Fear of getting a haircut can be dismissed with education, because if you knew how healthier and how quicker your hair will be able to retain the majority of the length from receiving a haircut that you desperately needed, a haircut would not make you feel, like a great deal of loss, like you're grieving this dead hair that had literally no commitment and no loyalty to you. Your hair is not loyal to you. It's not. We're more loyal to it. But hair will respond according to how you treat it. It's not going to be loyal by default just because you have this emotional attachment to it. It's just not going to do that. It's not. Length also becomes a badge of identity, pride, and work ethic for a lot of Black women. Especially when you feel like you're one of the few that has quote unquote waist length hair, as Jade described her hair in her videos. You become one of the few. Maybe it makes you feel superior to other Black women. I have no idea. Maybe you feel like you beat the odds. Or maybe you took pride in showing people we can grow our hair. I have no idea. There's so many different reasons people may feel this great deal of loss. Jay did explain that she's been working hard, and all that effort is just wasted and gone, We fear letting go because each inch, I almost messed it up, each inch feels like proof of effort, which is where I believe Jade more resides in that category. Just the proof of effort that, hey, I did it and I've been working my off, But you need to ask yourself, is it really the length you love, or is it what that length represents? Dead ends, unfortunately, don't negotiate. You cannot have a conversation with your hair and say, hey, if you seal the split ends, I'll give you more moisture. I'll give you more conditioner. Once they're split, they're dead. The only thing that's going to save those dead ends is a haircut. And you have all these products like Tresemme, Garnier Fructis. They out here lying to y'all, telling you that this helps seals split ends. See how that's just not a black culture thing? That's not a black culture thing. Tresemme, Garnier Fructis, their market is more catered to white women. They're being lied to as well, But these split ends have no commitment, no loyalty to you. They ain't signed no contracts with you and said, we will stay sealed if you don't cut us. They never said that. They said, I will break, I will thin, I will travel up the shaft. I will make your head look like hay, okay, if you don't take care of me. That's what they promise you. They compromise your hair strength and even styling ability, depending on the style that you are trying to achieve. Now, for updos, I'm sorry, but I love when y'all have some little split ends on your ends, especially when you want an updo. But when you want to wear your hair half down or all the way down and you got split ends, oh, honey, it's not going to last. It's not going to last. Soon split ends, as soon as it feel some moisture in the air, because they're dehydrated, they're thirsty, and they're porous. So they're open. They want something. So as soon as they feel a dab of moisture in the air, honey, they're going to grab that moisture and now your hair is frizzy. Okay? But you see, no commitment, no loyalty. They don't care about how you feel at all. Holding on to damaged ends is usually and always the opposite of protecting your hair goals. Most of my clients' hair goals was, I want healthy hair and I want to retain as much length as possible. You cannot do that with dead ends. It's not going to happen. They will pop off and break your hair off. It's not going to happen. It just feels emotionally safer. That's it. Letting go doesn't mean failure. Healthy hair is about strength, movement, and body, not just inches. But this is where consultations and communication come in. Here's how I handle it when I used to be behind a chair. Mirror first. Before I cut anything, I show the client all the damage, including the hidden breakage. I explain recommendations clearly. What's safe to cut, what's optional. And then I ask for permission. What are you comfortable with removing today? Depending on how damaged it is, that will let me know the follow-up recommendations I need to advise my clients so that we stay on track reaching said hair goals. And then we plan ahead accordingly. With that information alone, just allowing the client to have some say-so and allowing them to have some control in the chair, I instill trust with the client. So when I'm asking them to come back to me within 6 to 8 weeks, because they did not want to remove all of the dead ends, they usually always come back. And they usually always achieve their hair goals. Now let's reflect. When was the last time you truly communicated in the chair? Not about your personal business and your personal life, but sitting there having a conversation about your hair. Especially if you had concerns and hoped for the best. When was the last time you done it? Fear, emotional attachment, and hesitation often leave both the client and the stylist guessing. And that's when viral meltdowns happen. Education and consent replaces panic with partnership. That's how trust is built. That's how you get consistent hair growth and healthy relationships with your stylist. Hair isn't just hair, it's emotional. Like I said, we attach identity, pride, and history to it. But your hair doesn't have attachment to you. Ask yourself, why are you holding on? Is it love or fear? Based on the experience I've had behind the chair, it is fear-based. It is controlling you. It is. That's what I've seen. I've had some onesies and twosies that come in there and the energy is so light because they just love their hair. No matter what it's doing. They just genuinely love the fabric that is weaving out of their scalp. What would happen if you trusted the process? Because if it's fear-based, you don't trust the process. Letting go of damaged ends doesn't erase your work. It sets the stage for stronger growth. And that's where release equals growth. I'm speaking to my listeners and even myself. I had to let go of attachment too. If you over manipulate or ignore your hair's needs, it will break or fall out. No matter how much history you've built with it, no matter the journey you are on with it by yourself, because the hair is not on the same journey as you, depending on what's going on practically, externally, and also internally. You could be doing all the right things to take care of your hair, and still something internal could be going on with your body. You could have a thyroid issue. You could have high blood pressure. You could have lupus, and your hair will start to respond and fall out. And this is what I mean by your hair has no loyalty to staying on your head, but it has loyalty to communicating to you about what it needs or about what's going on with you internally. And before I say this next part, I'm only talking to the professional hairstylists who operate their business with integrity. This does not go for every professional when I'm speaking. We do more than cut hair. We manage artistry, emotional labor, social media scrutiny, safety concerns. Yes, threats like Erica experienced. Just because we don't come on social media talking about it does not mean we are not having these experiences. We just understand it's more clients than it is professionals. And people tend to side with what is more relatable to them. And we also have to uphold a certain standard, being that we are the professional. And a lot of times we are just too tired because of all that we juggle within our business. Boundaries matter. Documentation matters. And empathy goes both ways. This is not a one-sided situation where the professional is the emotional punching bag for the client, because that happens a lot, more than it should. This is a collaborative situation. It's nothing one-sided about this situation. When you are wanting a service, it's my job to achieve that service. And in return, you're happy, or whatever the case may be. We're exchanging, this experience. I do have a few questions for my hairstylist if y'all are listening. How often do you feel caught between educating a client and protecting yourself from backlash? The reason why I don't care about this is because facts don't care about your feelings. It just don't. That's not me being dismissive towards your feelings. Those are just the facts. So when it comes to educating and protecting your feelings, I do have a certain way that I deliver, but I am not going to make you feel good by telling you what you want to hear, because that don't help you. If my goal is to help you, I'm going to properly inform you and educate you so that you can be taken care of. So in that moment, I'm not thinking about your feelings at all. I'm just not. Because I care about the end goal and not what's going on right now. And if you trust me, you will see and you will learn why I didn't consider your feelings. Yes, I will nurture you, but I'm going to educate and still stick with my facts. I don't care what some influencer told you. That ain't none of my business. It ain't none of my business. My business is to inform and clean up all this misinformation that y'all been soaking in on social media. And clients, how can you honor a stylist's expertise while asserting your needs? Like I said, it's a collaborative situation. I'm not asking you to ignore how you feel, but there is always a way of how to do it. It's not what you do, it's how you do it. This story reminds us that haircuts are as much about relationships, trust, and communication as they are about technique. I care about the rapport that you are building with me because I need that trust and I need that relationship and that communication in order for me to proceed with consistently moving forward with you and trusting you with my hair care needs. Remember, release is not loss. Healthy hair and healthy trust comes from honesty, education, and letting go of what no longer serves you, whether it's dead ends or fear. You've been listening to Hear What I'm Saying. I'm Kenitra, reminding you that sometimes shears aren't cutting away progress. They're cutting the way to growth. Until next time, please rate, like, subscribe to this podcast. Please share it with someone that it may resonate with. Love your hair enough to let it go when it needs